Hello and what's up guys. In the previous video I have introduced you to the architecture that is followed if you want to create a certain package inside ROS2. For this video I will show you a quick example in order to illustrate what I was talking about and go with you over this procedure. So I advise you to watch this video till the end in order to be able to create your own packages inside ROS2. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and to hit the notification button to stay updated. So let's start. Okay, so I have created a file here. Alright, so open up your terminal. So the first thing that I want to do is that I want to create an overlay, if you remember, which is essentially a workspace, or in other words, a directory. So I will go to the desktop, and here I will make this directory. I will use the argument p because I will create like nested directories. So let me call it ROS2 workspace trial, and I will create the source directory inside of it. Now let me go there. So ROS2 workspace trial and source. Now, as I told you in the previous video, and if you didn't watch this video, please go ahead and do it right now before proceeding. I told you that you don't have to memorize the architecture details because there's a single command inside ROS2 that will build all this architecture for you. So the way to do it is to type in ROS2 package create. Of course, you need to specify the build type, and I have told you earlier that you have two build systems that are used inside ROS2, the amend CMake and the amend Python, so you need to specify that. So I will specify in this case amend CMake because obviously I'm going to use C++ language, and then you will need to give your package a name. So in this case, I will create two packages essentially, a minimal publisher and a minimal subscriber, which are like two nodes that I have used in earlier videos. If you want to check these videos where we had two nodes, built-in nodes that were communicating with each other. But now I will create my own nodes within my own packages. And it is minimal because it's not that sophisticated. So let's say minimal publisher, and please note that you cannot create multiple packages within the same command. You need to run this command for each package that you want to create. Okay, so as you can see, a new package has been created, and this is like the destination of it. And of course there are a couple of things that need to be done, the package description and license, etc. These are like, you don't have to worry about them for now. I will talk about them later on. This is the build type, and of course if you notice, the system has created the minimal publisher directory for your package, and inside of it, it has created the package XML, the source directory, the include directory, and the CMake list.txt. So this is exactly what I have told you in the earlier video. Let me repeat this command because I want to create right now the minimal subscriber package. All right. Now the same thing will be repeated. Now, after doing that, of course, if you let me show you like the GUI way. In here, as you can see, if I enter the minimal publisher, you'll have these files. But these files are not populated. I mean, they are populated, but with the basic blocks, building blocks, code-wise, I mean. So I need to apply some modifications to them. I will not do it in this video because I don't want to focus on the coding process in this video. I will do it in the next videos. So for now, I have just prepared or actually downloaded from the internet out there. This is what I found on GitHub. Some files, some coding blocks that I have found, and I will use them directly. So let me go to examples right here. We will use the C++, and this is the minimal publisher. So I will delete like these two files in here. I will replace them by the ones here. And these are the CMake list and the package XML. Here, let me enter the source directory, and here I will put like 3 C++ files. And I need of course to apply some modifications to these codes. I will just change the lambda.cpp because I want to focus on this executable. I will change the message that it is going to publish. Instead of hello world, of course this code has been written by someone. I will say hello Robotogeddon fan. How about that? Okay. Now we will save it and we'll exit. And of course, I will apply some changes to the CMake list.txt, which is, as I said before, it is responsible for all the procedures and the rules to be followed while building your packages. So here, this is add executable, and I will change the directory of the file to this, because obviously the CMake list.txt file and the source file for this lambda.cpp are not in the same directory. And to avoid any errors, I will change also the same thing for the other executables. So let me paste it. The same thing for here. I have 3 executables, and let me save that. Now the same thing will be applied here for the subscribers. Okay, I didn't change them obviously, so let me go to the minimal subscriber and let me delete these files here and get those. Alright, and now I need to apply these changes in here in the directory. So I will copy this and paste it here. The same thing for the not composable, and now we are ready to go. Okay, so now we have everything. So you have built your source code according to the architecture that I have showed you earlier. So now we are at the stage of building our package, and in order to do that, I told you before, I will use the Culkin build tool. So first thing, you need to go to the workspace directory. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, and here we will build all of our packages using the command Culkin build. So please make sure that you are inside the overlay directory in order to build your packages, and we will use this command as I said, and yep. And now Culkin will begin the process of building your packages, like creating executables that you can run using ROS2 run. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently I forgot to include like the CPP files in here. Sorry about that. So let me go ahead and do it quickly. Let me take those. All right. I think now we can proceed to the building process. Okay, it will take a bit of time. Be patient. Okay, so as you can see, I have built right now two packages, the examples publisher and the examples minimal subscriber. These are the names, by the way, that are specified inside the package.xml. Let me like show you briefly. Let's say I went to the minimal publisher. If you go to the package XML, you can see that it contains, as I said before, the metadata about the package that you have just built, and this is the name of the package. And it happens that this name should be compatible with another name inside the cmakelist.txt, which is the project passed to the project method. So here it is. And if these two names do not match, Culkin will give you an error. So be careful about this. Make sure that these names in here will match. And these will be the names of your packages that you are going to use in order to call them using, if you want to activate them using ROS2 run. Okay. And actually, let me like give you a little tour to show you like the architecture. So inside minimal publisher, which is my first package, you will have these packages, as I told you before, created by the ROS2 package create. And inside and outside here on the source level, if you remember, Culkin has created like three directories: the log, the install, and the build. And as you can see, let's say I enter install, you will have a directory for each package. You will have one for the minimal publisher, another one for the subscriber, and a bunch of other files. I don't care about them at the moment. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when I have installed ROS2 in a previous video, you can like review it and go ahead and watch it right now. I have sourced ROS2 in order to be able to use its command. Now, the same thing will happen with these custom created like packages. You need to source them after building them in order to use them. And usually the sourcing does not happen in the same directory that or in the same terminal window that you have just used to create or build your packages. So it is advisable to open a new window in order to avoid any kind of problems. So how to source these packages? If you enter the install directory that was built by Culkin, you will notice that here you will have the local setup.bash and you have the setup.bash right here. And if you remember in the previous video where I have sourced ROS2, I entered the following command: source, and then followed by a bash file, if you remember, located somewhere in a certain directory. And I did it inside, I put this command inside the bash rc file of the terminal, if you remember, so I don't have to source it source ROS2 each time I use it. I just have to launch my terminal and it will automatically be sourced because the command is inside the bash RC of the terminal. I won't do this right now in here because I'm just it's just a test or a trial for this tutorial. So I will just source my packages inside this terminal window. So I won't be able to use them elsewhere, to use these packages in another terminal window. So in order to source this file, I will use the dot or the source. Either way it will work. And let me specify this path. So actually I will do it in a smarter way. So let me open a terminal here and it will automatically give me the path, as you can see. Let me copy it and source it, and followed by, now what is the difference between local setup and setup.bash? Now the local setup.bash will allow you to source your overlay only. As for this setup.bash, it will allow you to source both the overlay and the underlay. Now, quick facts about sourcing the overlay and the underlay. You have to source the underlay along with the overlay in order to use the packages that you have just created, of course, inside the overlay. So this is very important, guys. And also, let's say if you have created a certain package with a certain executable, and it happens that they had the same names as a package or an executable inside the underlay. So in this way, the package inside the overlay will take a precedence over the underlay, and this is what it happens. So this is what happens. And so in this case, if you source your overlay along with the underlay and you try to run your package, the version of this package inside the overlay will be the one to be activated. So I hope you understood these two notes because they are very important. Now, I have already sourced my underlay, obviously, and I put that inside the terminal bash RC. So I just need to source my overlay in this case, and it will be this file. So I have sourced it inside this window, so I cannot use my packages that I have just sourced in another terminal window. Okay, so in order to do that, I will use ROS2 run. Obviously, I need the package name. So as I told you earlier, the way to do it is to go to here, and you either get it from the CMake list or the package XML. So this is it. And what about the name of the node? Actually, this will be, or the executable, this will be inside here, inside this command add executable and the CMake list.txt. And I told you I will focus on the publisher lambda. So this is it. So let me run it. Et voila! Hello, Robotogeddon fans. Now let me open a new window, and let me source my packages here again. Now local setup.bash. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot about the command, the dot. Okay, now I will use ROS2 run, and the name was the same as I remember, but the only difference is that you have to replace publisher with subscriber. And For the executable, also the same thing. You replace publisher by subscriber. Of course, I had to enter the adequate files, but I don't need to do it because I already know the names. So as you can see, I hear hello Robotageddon fans. So as you can see, now you have just created your own customized packages, and these were basically a publisher and a subscriber node that are communicating using a topic. We did the same thing earlier in earlier videos, but the packages were built in, and now you build them yourself. Now, in the next couple of videos, I will begin the coding work. I will go with you over the code. I will write it with you. We will write it together in C++. So if you don't have a previous knowledge about C++, I urge you to learn about them. A good source for learning about them is tutorials point, and I will try as much as I can to go over each command, each coding word, and I will explain it to you. So you should be fine, but it's always advisable to acquire some knowledge about C++ if you want to master for real the development inside ROS2. I hope to see you guys in later videos, and I hope you enjoyed this video today. So for now, I bid you farewell, and I hope to see you later on.